But I will say, and I'm going to say this, I don't know what you guys talked about when I went off air. The height doesn't match the tape. There are good things, and there are some good things, but the height or the tape to me doesn't tell you got a first-round draft pick or a top 10 or a number 1 overall draft pick or a Heisman hopeful. I think he's going to go into Ohio State and he's going to struggle because he hasn't played anybody. The last time we saw him against a really good defense was Georgia, and he looked out of place, right? He looked really good against UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, and Mississippi State, the worst defense in the SEC. I think there's still a lot for him to grow and a lot we need to see, like Lewis said.
Few moments later.
Archie Manning looked mid against Florida, but ESPN swears he's Jesus Jr. Let's talk about Archie Manning, the golden child, the chosen one, the quarterback who supposedly inherited Peyton's brains and Eli's calm under pressure.
Paul Feinbaum, what are your expectations for Arch?
The absolute roof. I think there's a reasonably good chance that Arch Manning will be sitting on the front row in New York at the Heisman ceremony. That's assuming that his team does what it's supposed to do and compete for not only the SEC, but for the national championship. And I really believe they will. I think Steve Sarkisian, who's one of the most amazing play callers I've ever seen, made a critical mistake late in the year. He was way too loyal to Quinn Ewers, who was banged up and was really ineffective. Had Arch Manning been instituted in the second half of that game, like Nick Saban did a couple of years ago with Tagovailoa, I think there's a reasonably good chance that Texas would have beaten Ohio State and won the national championship. They're very capable of doing it again this year. I believe also that Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback we have seen since Tim Tebow entered the scene in 2006.
But today, bro couldn't hit water if he fell out of a damn boat. Archie Manning went 16 of 29 for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions against Florida. That's a 55% completion rate, which means he was basically flipping a coin every time he threw the ball. Heads, completion. Tails, embarrassment. And spoiler alert, it was tails a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, the numbers don't look awful until you actually watch the game, because my guy was out there missing wide open receivers like the goalposts had a restraining order on them. Guys were streaking down the field like, hey, Archie, over here. And he was busy checking down to a running back getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He looked like he was playing dodgeball, not football, running for his life, panicking in the pocket, and throwing prayers that not even the good Lord above could catch. Let's break it down. 263 passing yards sounds solid until you realize 90 of those came off busted coverages where his receivers bailed him out. 2 touchdowns? Sure, one of them came when Florida's defense was already celebrating like they'd clocked out early. 2 interceptions? Those weren't learning moments, they were what in the hell was that moments. His quarterback rating was 145.3, which only proves the formula is broken, because anybody watching that game knows he looked like a man desperately searching for Wi-Fi in the wilderness. Real quick, if you're rocking with the channel, do me one quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and join the movement. Here at Sports Impact Media, we're dropping the hottest takes, the funniest roasts, and the realest breakdowns in sports and culture. So don't just watch, be part of the family. Click subscribe, turn on that bell so you never miss when we cook somebody up, and let's keep building this thing together. Even his legs couldn't save him. 13 rushes for 52 yards sounds like effort, but most of those were run for your life before the swamp eats you scrambles. Here's where it gets hilarious. By tomorrow morning, ESPN will have 5 analysts sitting around a table talking about how resilient Archie looked, how poised he was, and how this game showed his mental toughness. Please, let's call it what it was. Mediocre football wrapped in a famous last name. If Shedeur Sanders put up that exact stat line, Twitter would be calling him overrated, inconsistent, and not ready for the league. But when Archie Manning does it, oh, he's learning. Oh, he's showing growth. Bro, he's showing growth like a bad houseplant. All sunlight, no results. It's crazy how the media bends over backward to protect this man's reputation like he's football royalty. Meanwhile, he's out here overthrowing receivers like they insulted his family. Every time Archie struggles, the excuses come flying in faster than a Florida blitz. The O-line's young. The receivers dropped some passes. The weather was humid. Number. The problem wasn't humidity, it was accuracy. You can't call yourself the future of college football when half your throws land in the stands. Florida didn't just expose Archie Manning, they exposed the hype machine around him. He's been handed more praise for average play than any quarterback in the country. If the last name were Johnson instead of Manning, nobody would be writing bedtime stories about this performance. Let's be clear, Archie Manning isn't trash. He's just not what they've been selling us. He's got tools. He's got mechanics. He's got the famous forehead that can store football IQ like a hard drive. But he doesn't have it yet. That calm, confident, killer instinct you see in real field generals. Right now, Archie looks like a kid trying to cosplay as his uncles while the world keeps pretending he's already them. And that's not fair to him or to our sanity watching him struggle to hit a slant route. Florida didn't just beat Texas today, they exposed the myth. The idea that Archie Manning is some generational phenom waiting to explode doesn't hold up when the lights are bright and the pressure is real. Because when it mattered, he folded like a cheap lawn chair. He's missing throws, missing reads, and missing reality if he thinks that performance was anything but mid. And yet by sunrise, the headlines will read, Archie Manning's resilient. Showing proves he's the future. No, it doesn't. It proves he's got work to do. And a whole lot of hype to live up to. So go ahead, ESPN. Keep polishing that halo. But the rest of us saw what happened. A quarterback who played like pure-ass cheeks, running for his life, missing wide-open receivers, and getting carried by his last name more than his arm.
Every morning feels the same old tune. Sunrise yawns, the clock strikes noon. I brush my teeth, I tie my shoes. Yesterday's news, today's deja vu. It's Groundhog's Day, here we go again. Stuck in a loop, round the same old bend. The world's on repeat, I'm losing my mind. But hey, I guess I've tied time. I see the coffee steam, I hear the birds sing. Predictable skies, not a brand new thing. The mailman waves, the neighbor mows. Life's a rerun, same TV shows. Can I rewrite the script? Flip the switch and let it rip. It's Groundhog's Day, here we go again. Stuck in a loop, round the same old bend. The world's on repeat, I'm losing my mind. But hey, I guess